Let my love silently flow in a single word. I'd give it the merry breezes, they'd waft it away in sport. I'd give it the merry breezes, they'd waft it away in sport. Away in sport, away in sport, they'd waft it away in sport. To thee on thy wings, my fairest, that soul felt what they would bear, should steer it at every moment, and hear it everywhere, should steer it at every moment, and hear it everywhere, and everywhere, and everywhere, and hear it everywhere.
As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will, but for 1,000 crowns. And as thou sayest, charge my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. My sister, Jacqueline, he keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of her profit. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or, to speak more properly, stays me here, at home, unkept. His horses are bred better, for besides that they are fair with their feeding, they are taught their manage, and to that end riders dearly hired. But I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth. This is it, Adam, that grieves me, and I will no longer bear it. Though yet, I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Stand aside, Adam, and thou shalt hear how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I am not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
I am helping you to mar that which God made. A poor, unworthy brother of yours.
Marry, sir, be better employed and be naught a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent that I should come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir?
Ah, sir, very well. Here, in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
Better than him I am before knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood, you should so know me.
What, boy?
Come, come. You are too young in this, brother.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. He was my father, and he is thrice a villain that says such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat till this other had pulled out thy tongue for saying so.
Sweet masters, be patient. For your father's remembrance, be at accord.
Let me go, I say.
I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman, or give me the poor lottery my father left me by testament. With that, I will go buy my fortunes.
What wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled with you. Thou shalt have some part of your will. Pray you, leave me. Get you with him, you old dog!
His old dog my reward. Most true, I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master. He would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Beginning you to grow upon me? I will physic your rankness, yet give no 1,000 crowns neither. Holla, Dennis!
Calls, your worship?
Was not Charles, the Duke Spencer, here to speak with me?
So please you, he is here, at the door.
Call him in. It will be a good way, and tomorrow the fencing is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Ah, good Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
There is no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old duke is banished by his younger brother, the new duke, and 3 or 4 loving lords have gone into voluntary exile with him, whose lands and revenues enrich the new duke. Therefore, he gives them good leave to wander.
Do you know if Rosalind, the duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh, no. For the duke's daughter so loves her, being ever from their cradles bred together, that she would have followed her exile, or have died to stay behind her. She is at the court, and no less beloved of her uncle than his own daughter. And never did 2 ladies love as they do.
Where will the old duke live?
They say he's already in the forest of Arden, and many merry men with him. They say they fleet the time there carelessly as they did in the Golden World.
Will you, fence tomorrow before the new duke?
Merry, do I, sir? And I came to acquaint you with the matter. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come in disguised against me to try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I fight for my credit, and he who escapes me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Your brother is but young and tender, and I would be loath to foil him, as I must for mine own honor, sir, if he come in. Therefore, out of my love to you, I came hither to acquaint you withal, in that it is a thing of his own search, sir, and entirely against my will.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I will most kindly requite. I had myself notice of my brother's purpose herein, and have by underhand means laboured to dissuade him from it. But he is resolute. I'll tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow in England, full of ambition, an envious emulator of every man's good parts, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore use thy discretion. I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger. For I assure thee, Charles, there is not one so young and so villainous this day living. I speak but brotherly of him, for were I to anatomize him to thee as he is, I must blush and weep.
I am heartily glad I came hither to you. If he come in tomorrow, I'll give him his payment. And so God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. Now will I stir my brother. I hope I shall see an end of him, for my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. He's gentle, never schooled yet learned, of all sorts enchantingly beloved, and indeed so much in the heart of the world, especially of my own people who best know him, that I am altogether misprized. But it shall not be for long. This fencer shall clear all.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my coz, be merry.
If you could teach me to forget a banished father, do not learn me any extraordinary pleasure.
Herein I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy uncle, the duke, my father, so thou hadst been still with me, I could have taught my love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love to me was so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I'll forget the condition of my estate to rejoice in yours.
You know my father hath no child but I, nor none is like to have, and truly, when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken from thy father perforce, I will render thee again in affection. By mine honour I will, and when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my dear Rose, my sweet Rose, be merry.
From henceforth I swear, coz, and devise sport. Let me see. What do you think of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee do, to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest. Nor no further in sport, neither than with safety of a pure blush thou mayst in honour come off again.
What should be our sport then?
Let us Sit and mock the good housewife Fortune from her wheel, that her gifts may henceforth be bestowed equally.
I would if we could, for her benefits are mightily misplaced, and the bountiful blind woman does oft mistake her gifts unto women.
'Tis true, for those she makes fair, she scarce makes honest, and those she makes honest, she makes very ill-favouredly.
Nay, now thou goest from Fortune's office to nature. Fortune rains its gifts unto the world, and not in the lineaments of nature.
No. When nature hath made a fair creature, may she not by fortune fall into the fire? Though nature hath given us wit to flout at fortune, hath not fortune sent in this one to cut off the argument?
Indeed, there is a fortune too hard for nature, when nature's naturals are cut off of nature's wit.
Peradventure, this is not fortune's work neither, but nature's, who perceiveth our natural wits too dull to reason of such goddesses, and have sent this natural for our whetstone. How now, wit, whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honour, but I was bid to come for you.
Where learned you that oath?
Of a certain knight that swore by his honour they were good pancakes, and swore by his honour the mustard was not. Now, I'll stand to it, the pancakes were not, and the mustard was good, and yet was not the knight forsworn.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
I marry, now unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand you both forth now, stroke your chins, and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that is not, then you are not forsworn. No more was this knight swearing by his honour, for he never had any. Or if he had sworn it away before ever he saw those pancakes. Or that mustard.
By my troth, thou sayest true. Here comes Monsieur Lebeau,
With his mouth full of news.
which he will put on us as pigeons' feet are young.
And then we shall be news. Come.
Oh, the better, no? We shall be the more marketable. Bonjour, Monsieur Lebeau. What's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what colour?
What colour, madame? How shall I answer you?
As wit and fortune will.
Or as the destinies decree.
You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of much good fencing that you have lost the sight of.
Alas, tell us the manner of this fencing.
I will tell you the beginning, and if it please your ladyships, you may see the end, for the best is yet to do, and here, where you are, they are coming to perform it.
Well, the beginning that is dead and buried.
There comes an old man with his 3 sons.
I could match this beginning with an old tale.
3 proper young men of excellent growth and presence.
With bills around their neck, be it known, men of these presents.
The eldest of the 3 fought with Charles, the Duke's swordsman, which Charles in a moment struck him and broke 3 of his ribs, that there is little hope of life in him. So he served the 2nd, and so the 3rd. And yonder they lie, the poor old man, their father, making such pitiful dole over them that all the bystanders took his part with weeping.
Alas.
But what is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why, this that I speak of.
Thus men may grow wiser every day. It is the first that ever I heard the breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
But is there any else who longs to see this broken music on his sides, and yet another who dotes upon rib breaking? Shall we see this fight, cousin?
You must if you stay here, for here is the place appointed for the fencing. Yeah, and they are ready to perform it.
Yonder sure they are coming. Let us now stay and see it.
Come on! Since the youth will not be entreated, his own peril on his forwardness.
Alas, he is too young, yet he looks successfully.
How now, daughter? And cousin? Are you crept hither to see the fencing?
Aye, my liege, if it please you to give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. There is such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Call him hither, good Monsieur Lebeau.
Do so. I'll not be by.
Monsieur le Challenger, the ladies, they call for you.
Oh, I attend them. With all respect. Duty.
Young man, have you challenged Charles, the fencer?
No, fair lady. He is the general challenger. I come but in as others do, to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentleman, your spirits are too bold for your years. You have seen cruel proof of this man's strength. If you saw yourself with your eyes, or knew yourself with your judgment, the fear of your adventure would counsel you to a more equal enterprise. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir, for your reputation shall not be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the fencing not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, but let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein, if I be foiled, there's but one shame that was never gracious. If killed, but one dead that is willing to be so. I will do my friends no harm, for I have none to lament me. The world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world I fill up a place which may be better supplied when I have made it empty.
The little strength that I have, I were it were with you.
And mine, to eke out hers.
Fare you well, and I pray to heaven I be deceived in you.
Your heart's desires be with you.
Come, where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother Earth?
Ready, sir, but his will hath in it a more modest working.
You shall try but one point.
Nay, I beseech your grace, you shall not entreat him to a second that hath so mightily persuaded him from a first.
You mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before. But, come your ways.
Hercules, be thy speed, young man!
I would I were invisible, so I could catch that strong fellow by the leg.
Oh, excellent, young man!
If I had a thunderbolt in mine eye, I can tell who should down.
No more. No more.
Yes, I beseech your grace. I am not yet well breathed.
How dost thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege. The youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honourable, but I did find him still mine enemy. But fare thee well. Thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and would not trade that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick!
My father loves Sir Roland as his own soul, and the world was of my father's mind.
Let us go thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved. If you do keep your promises in love, but justly, as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Wear this for me. One out of suits of fortune, that could give more, but her hand lacks the means. Shall we go, cousin?
Aye, fare you well, fair gentleman.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are all struck down. That which here stands up is but a quintain. a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back. My pride fell with my fortunes. Sir, you have fought well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
Have with you.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak, yet she urged conference. Ah, poor Orlando! Thou art overthrown! Or Charles, or something weaker masters thee.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Albeit you have deserved high commendation, true applause and love. But now such is this Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
Why, thank you, sir. And pray you, tell me this. Which of the two was daughter to the Duke that here was at the fencing?
Neither is daughter if we judge by manners, eh? But yet, the smaller of the two was his daughter, the other is daughter to the banished Duke, and here detained by her usurping uncle as company for his daughter. But I must tell you that of late, this Duke has ta'en disdain against his gentle niece, and on my life his malice will break forth. Now, fare you well. Hereafter, in a better world than this, I would desire more love and knowledge of you.
I rest much bound to you. Fare you well. Thus must I, from the smoke into the smother, from a tyrant Duke unto a tyrant brother. Oh, but heavenly Rosalind. Who's there?
What? My young master. Oh, my sweet master. Oh, gentle master. Oh, my memory of old Sir Roland. Why? What makes you here? Why are you virtuous? Your virtues, gentle master, are sanctified and holy traitors to you. Oh, what a world is this, and what is comely, venom him that bears it.
Why? What's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth, come not within these doors. Within this roof the enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother, no brother, yet the son, yet not the son, I will not call him son, of him I was about to call his father, has heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. And if he fail of that, he will have other means to cut you off. I overheard him in his practices. This is no house. This place is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it.
Whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither so you come not here.
What? Wouldst thou have me go and beg my food? Or with a base and boisterous sword enforce a thievish living on the open road? This I must do, or know not what to do. Yet this I will not do. Do how I can. I rather will subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. Here. I have 500 crowns, the thrifty hire I saved under your father, which I did store to be my foster nurse when service should in my old limbs lie lame and unregarded age in corners thrown. Take that, and let me be thy servant. Though I look old, yet I am strong and lusty, for in my youth I never did apply hot and rebellious liquors to my blood, nor did not, with unbridled forehead, woo the means of weakness and debility. Therefore my age is as a lusty winter, frosty but kindly. Let me go with you. I'll do the service of a younger man in all your business and necessities.
Good old man. How well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world, where service sweat for duty, and not for need. But poor old man, thou prunest a rotten tree, that canst so much as a blossom yield, in lieu of all thy pains in husbandry. But come thy ways, we'll go along together, and ere we have thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
Master, go on, and I will follow thee to the last gasp with truth and loyalty. from 17 years till now almost fourscore. Here lived I, but now live here no more. At 17 years many their fortune seek, but at fourscore it is too late a week. Yet fortune cannot recompense me better than to die well, and not my master's debtor.
Why, cousin! Why, Rosalind! Cupid have mercy, not a word!
Not one to throw at a dog.
No, thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Throw some of them at me! Come, lame me with reasons.
Then there were two cousins laid up, one lamed with reason, and the other mad without any.
But is all this for your father?
No, some of it is for my child's father. Oh, how full of briars is this working day world!
They are but burrs, cousin, thrown upon thee in holiday foolery.
I could shake those burrs off of my coat. These are in my heart.
Hem them away.
I would if I could. Cry hem and hem.
Come, take arms against thy affections.
They take the part of a better fencer than myself.
Oh, a good wish upon you. You will try in time, in despite of a fall. But, turning these jests out of service, let's talk in good earnest. Is it possible on such a sudden that you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Rowland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase I should hate him, for my father hated his father dearly, yet I hate not Orlando.
Pray you hate him not, me.
Why should I not? Doth he not deserve well?
And because I love him, do you? Here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle.
You, cousin. Within these 10 days, if thou beest found so near our public quarters, 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech you, let the knowledge of my fault bear with me. If I hold acquaintance with mine own desires, or if I dream or be not frantic, which I am sure I am not, then, dear uncle, never so much as a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust does not make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood that depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
So was I when your highness banished him. So was I when your highness took his dukedom. Treason is not inherited, my lord. And if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. Then, good my liege, think not my poverty as treachery.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake. Else had she with her father ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. If she be a traitor, why so am I. We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, eat together, and wheresoe'er we went, like Juno's swans, still we went coupled and inseparable.
Oh, she is too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Yet open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool! You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time, upon mine honour, and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine. I charge thee, be not thou more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Prithee be cheerful. Knowst thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
That he hath not.
No, hath not. Rosalind lacks then the love which teacheth thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Let my father seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go, and what to bear with us. And do not seek to take your charge upon you, to bear your griefs yourself, and to leave me out. For by this heaven, now at our sorrow's pale, say what thou canst. I'll go along with thee.
Whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what dangers there will be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far. Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, the like do you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better that I am more common tall, that I did suit me all points like a man? A gallant curtlax on my thigh, a boar spear in my hand, and in my heart what lay there the hidden fears of a woman? Will have a swashing and a marshal outside, as many other mannish cowards have, to outface their semblances.
And what shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse name than Jove's own page. Then, look you, call me Ganymede. And what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
Cousin! What if we essayed to steal our clownish friend from your father's court? Would she not be some comfort to us on our journey?
Oh, she'll go along the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo her. Let's away and get our jewels and our wealth together, devise the fittest time and safest way to escape the pursuit that will be made following my flight. Now go we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath that old custom made this life more sweet than painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? And this our life, exempt from public horn, finds tongues in trees, books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything.
I would not change it. Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, let us go kill us venison. And yet it irks me that these poor dappled fools, native burghers of this desert city, should, in their own confines with forked heads, have their round haunches gored.
Indeed, my lord, the melancholy Jacques grieves at that, and in that kind swears you do more usurp than doth your brother, that hath banished you.
Today, my lord of Amiens and myself did steal behind him as he lay along under an oak, whose antic root peeps out upon the brook that brawls along this wood, to the which place a poor sequestered stag that from the hunter's aim had ta'en a hurt did come to languish. And indeed, my lord, The wretched animal heaved forth such groans that their discharge did stretch his leathern coat almost to bursting, and the big round tears coursed one another down his innocent nose in piteous chase. And thus the hairy fool, much marked of the melancholy Jaques, stood on the extremest verge of the swift brook, augmenting it with tears.
But what said Jaques? Did he not moralize the matter?
Oh yes, into 1,000 similes. First his weeping into the needless stream.
Poor dear,
Quoth he.
thou makest a testament, as worldlings do, giving thy sum of money to that, which had too much.
Then, being there alone, left and abandoned of his velvet friend.
'Tis right. Thus misery doth part the flux of company.
Anon a careless herd jumps along by him, but never stays to greet him.
Aye, sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens. 'Tis just the fashion. Wherefore do you look upon that poor and broken bankrupt there?
Thus most invectively he pierced through the body of country, city, court. Yea, and of this our lives, swearing that we are mere usurpers, tyrants, and what's worse, to fright the animals and kill them up in their assigned native dwelling place.
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lord, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing deer.
Show me the place, for I love to cope him in these sullen fits, for then he's full of matter.
I'll bring you to him straight.
Oh, gentle Jupiter, how weary are my spirits!
I care not for my spirits, if my legs were not weary.
I could find it in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and cry like a woman, but I must comfort the weaker vessel, as doublet and hose must show itself courageous to petticoat. Therefore, good Aliena, courage.
I pray you, bear with me. I cannot go no further.
For my part, I had rather bear with you than bear you, yet I should bear no cross if I did bear you, for I think you have no money in your purse.
So this is the forest of Arden.
Aye. Now am I in Arden, the more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place, but travellers must be content.
Alas, be so, good mistress, Touchstone. Here comes a young and old man in solemn talk. Come on.
Oh, that is the way to make her scorn you still.
Oh, Corin, that thou knewest how I do love her.
I partly guessed, for I have love there now.
No, Corin, being old, thou canst not guess. Though, in thy youth, thou wast as true a lover as ever sat upon a midnight pillow. But if thy love were ever like to mine, as sure as I think man did never love so, how many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000. That I have forgotten.
Oh, thou didst never love so heartily. If thou rememberest not the slightest folly that ever did love make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not sat, as I do now, wearing thy hearer in thy mistress' praise, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company, abruptly as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe! Phoebe! Phoebe!
Alas, poor shepherd, searching of thy wounds, I have found mine own through hard adventure.
And I mine. I remember when I was in love. We that are true lovers run into strange capers. But as all nature is mortal, so is all nature in love, mortal in folly.
Thou speakest wiser than art ware of.
Nay, I shall ne'er beware of mine own wit till I break my shins against it.
Jove, Jove, Jove! This shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
And mine, but grows something stale with me.
I pray you, one of you question yon man if he, for gold, will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
Holla, you clown!
Peace, I say, fool. He's not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
Your betters, sir.
Else they are very wretched.
Peace, I say. Good eve to you, friend.
And to you, sir, and to you all.
I prithee, shepherd, for love or gold, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here is a poor shepherdess, weary from her travels, and faints for succour.
Fair sir, I pity her, and wish more for her sake than mine own, that my fortunes were more able to relieve her. But I am shepherd to another man. I do not shear those fleeces that I graze. My master is of churlish disposition. And besides, his cot, his flock and bounds of feed are now on sale, and at our sheep cot now, by reason of his absence, there is nothing that you will feed on.
No.
But what is? Come see, and by my voice most welcome shall you be.
What is he that shall buy his flock and pasture?
Or that young swain that you saw here but erewhile. He cares little for buying anything.
Good shepherd, were it not good if we buy the cottage, the pasture, and the flock, and you'll have good pay of us?
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place, and willingly could waste my time in it.
Assuredly the thing is to be sold. Come with me, and if upon report you like the soil, the profit, well, this kind of life, I will your most faithful feeder be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Dear master, I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here lie I down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master.
Why, how now, Adam? No greater heart in thee? Live a little. Comfort a little. Cheer thyself a little. If this uncouth forest yield anything savage, I will either be food for it, or bring it for food to thee. For my sake, be comfortable. Hold death a while at the arm's end. I will be with thee presently, and if I bring thee not something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I come, thou art a marker of my labor. Come, I will bear you to some shelter. You shall not die for lack of a dinner, if there live anything in this place. Cheerly, good Adam.
I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him like a man.
My lord, he is but even now gone hence. Here was he merry, hearing of a song. That he saves my labour by his own approach.
Why, how now, monsieur? What a life is this, that your poor friends must woo your company? What? You look merrily.
A fool! I met a fool in the forest. A motley fool. Ah, miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool who laid them down and basked in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms, in good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven hath sent me a fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eyes, says very wisely, "It is
10 o'clock. Well, thus we may see, quoth he, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twill be 11. And so, from hour to hour, we ripe and ripe. And then, from hour to hour, we rot and rot, and thereby hangs a tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like chanticleer, that fools should be so deep contemplative, and I did laugh. Sans intermission, an hour by his dial. Oh, noble fool, a worthy fool, motley's the only wear.
What fool is this?
One that hath been at court, and in his brain he hath strange places crammed with observation. Oh, that I were a fool! I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgments of all opinions that grow rank in them, that I am wise. I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. And they that are most galled with my folly, they most must love. Give me leave to speak my mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if they will patiently receive my medicine.
High on thee, I know what thou wouldst do.
What for a counter would I do but good?
A most mischievous, foul sin in chiding sin, for thou thyself hast been a libertine.
Why, who cries out on pride that can therein tax any private party? Doth it not flow as hugely as the sea, till that the weary very means do ebb? Or what is he, of basest function, that says his bravery is not on my cost, thinking that I mean him, but therein suits his folly to the metal of my speech? There then, how then, what then? Let me see wherein my tongue hath wronged him. If it do him right, then he hath wronged himself. If he be free, why, then my taxing like a wild goose flies unclaimed of any man.
On guard!
But who comes here?
Forbear, and eat no more.
Why? I have ate none yet.
Nor shalt not, till necessity be served.
Art thou thus boldened, man, by thy distress? Or else, a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seem'st so empty?
I almost die for food, and let me have it.
Sit down and feed, and welcome to our feast.
Speak'st thou so gently? Pray you pardon me, I thought all things had been savage here.
True it is that we have seen better days, and have with holy bell been known to church, and sat at good men's feasts, and wiped our eyes of drops that sacred pity hath engendered. Therefore, sit you down in gentleness, and have upon command what help we have, that to your wanting may be ministered.
Then, but forbear your food a little while, whilst, like I do, I go to find my fawn and give it food. There is an old poor man who after me hath many a weary step limped in pure love, till he be first sufficed, oppressed by two great evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
Go, seek him out, and we shall nothing waste till your return.
Thank you. Be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest, we're not all alone unhappy, and this wide and universal theatre hath more woeful pageants than the one wherein we play.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Oh, they have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. And then the whining schoolboy with his shining morning face and satchel, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like a furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then a soldier full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble, reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in a fair round belly with good capon lined, with eyes severe and a beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. So he plays his part. The sixth aid shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Set down your venerable burden and let him feed.
I thank you most for him.
So had you need, I scarce can speak to thank you for myself. Welcome. Fall to. If that thou wert the good Sir Roland's son, as mine eyes doth his effigies witness, most truly limbed and living in your face, be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. Good old man, thou art right welcome, as thy master is.
Hang there my verse, in witness of my love. And thou, thrice-crowned queen of night, survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above thy huntress's name, that my full life doth sway. Ah, Rosalind! These trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character, that every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, the unexpressive she.
How likes you this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd? In respect of itself, it is a good life, but in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. In respect that it is solitary, I like it very well, but in respect it is private, it is a very vile life. Now, in respect it is in the fields, it pleaseth me well, but in respect it is not in the town, it is tedious. As it is a spare life, look you, it fits my humour well, but as there's no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more than that I know. The more one sickens, the less at ease he is. And that he that wants money, means, and content is without three good friends. That the property of rain is to wet, and the property of fire is to burn. The good pasture makes fat sheep, And a major cause of the night is the lack of the sun. And that he that has learnt no wit by nature nor art can complain of good breeding, or comes from very dull kindred.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Wast ever at court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Nay, I owe.
Truly, thou art damned like an ill-roasted egg, all on one side.
For not being at court? Your reason?
If thou never wast at court, then thou never sawest good manners, and if thou never sawest good manners, thy manners must be wicked, and wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a parlous state, shepherd.
Not a whit touchstone. Those that are considered good manners at court are as ridiculous in the country as the behaviour of the country is most mockable at court. You said, at court, you salute not, but you kiss your hands. That courtesy would be uncleanly if shepherds were courtiers.
Instance, briefly come, instance.
We are still handling our ewes, and their fells are, well, greasy.
Why? Do not the courtier's hands sweat? And is not the sweat of a man as wholesome as the sweat of a mutton? Shallow, shallow, I say. Another instance, come.
Besides, our hands is hard.
Your lips will feel them the sooner. Shallow. Again, mend the instant, shepherd.
You have too courtly a wit for me. I'll rest.
Wilt thou rest, damned? God help thee, shallow man. God make incision in thee. Thou art raw.
I am a true labourer. I earn that I eat. I get that I wear. Oh, no man hate, envy no man's happiness, glad of other men's good. Content with my arm, and my greatest prize is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
Ugh, that is another simple sin in you. To bring the ewes and rams together, and to offer to get your living by the copulation of cattle, to be bawd to a bellwether, and to betray a she-lamb of a 12-month to a crooked old cuckoldy-pated ram out of all reasonable match. If thou beest not damned for this, the devil himself will have no shepherds. I cannot see else how thou shouldst escape.
Look, here comes Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to the westering, no jewel is like Rosalind, her worth being mounted on the wind, though all the world bears Rosalind.
I'll run you so, 8 years together, dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted.
Out, fool.
Come, for a taste. If a hart will after hind, let him seek out Rosalind. If the cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosalind. Sweetest nut hath sourest rind, such a nut is Rosalind. He that sweetest rose would find must find love's prick and Rosalind. This is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool. I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Then I'll graft it with you, and I'll graft it with the meadow.
You have said so, but whether wisely or no, let the forest judge.
Peaceful. Here comes my sister, and reading, stand aside.
Oh, upon the fairest bough will I, Rosalinda, write, teaching all that read to know the quintessence of every sprite, heaven would in little show. Therefore, heaven nature charge that one body should be filled with all graces, wide enlarged. Nature presently distilled, heaven would that she these gifts should have, and I to live and die her slave.
Oh, what tedious homilies you have wearied your parishioners of all, crying, have patience, good people.
How now? Oh, back friends, Good shepherd, go off a little. Go with him, Syrup.
Come, shepherd, let us make an honourable retreat, But not with bag and baggage, yet with script and scrimmage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh yes, I heard them all, and more still. For some of them had in them more feet than the verse could bear.
Now that's no matter, the feet might bear the verses.
Aye, but the feet were lame and could not bear themselves, and therefore stood lamely within the verses.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
I was 7 of the 9 day out to wander before you came, and I found them here on this tree. I've never been so berhymed.
Trow you who hath done this?
It is a man.
And a chain that you once wore about his neck? Change you colour?
I prithee who?
Oh, Lord, it is a hard matter for friends to meet, but mountains may be removed with earthquakes, and so encounter.
Nay, I prithee who is it?
Is it possible?
Nay, I prithee who is it? Tell me with the most petitionary vehemence.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again wonderful. And after that, out of all whooping.
Do you think I am capricious as a man, that I have doublet and hose in my disposition? 1 inch of delay is a south sea of discovery. I pray thee, let this concealed man out of thy lips like wine from a narrow-mouthed bottle, either too much at first or none at all.
So you may put a man in your belly.
Is he of God's making? Is his head worth a hat? His chin worth a beard?
Nay, he hath but a little beard.
Oh, God willing, will send him more, if the man be thankful. But stay the growth of his beard, deny me not the knowledge of his chin.
It is young Orlando, that tripped up the fence's heels and your heart, both in an instant.
May the devil be mocking.
I' faith, cuss, 'tis he. Orlando.
Alas the day! What should I do with my doublet and hose? Where is he? Where and when did he? Does he know I am here? How looked he? Answer me in one word!
You must borrow me Gargantua's mouth first. 'Tis a word too great for any mouth of this age's size.
Speak.
It is as easy to count atomies as to resolve the propositions of a lover. But take a taste of my finding him, and relish it with good observance. I found him under a tree, like a dropped acorn.
Oh, it might as well be called Jove's own tree to drop forth such fruit.
Give me audience, good madam. There lay he, stretched along, like a wounded knight.
Oh, what a sad sight, but it doth become the ground.
Cry holler to thy tongue. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous! He comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden. Thou bring'st me out of tune.
When I think I must speak, sweet, say on.
You bring me out. Soft. Comes he, not here.
It is he. Slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief have been myself alone.
And so had I. But yet, for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees writing love songs in their bark.
I pray you, mar no more of my verses by reading them ill-favouredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
Well, there was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers. Have you not been acquainted with goldsmiths' wives and conned them out of rings?
Not so. But I answer you, right painted cloth, from whence you have studied your questions.
You have a nimble wit. I think 'twas made of Atalanta's heels. Will you sit down with me? And we two will rail against our mistress the world and all our misery.
No, I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I would not trade for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is drowned. In the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own reflection.
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, Monsieur Melancholy.
I'll speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit play the knave. Do you hear, Forester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is the o'clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There is no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest. Else, sighing every minute, and moaning every hour, tells a lazy foot of time as well as any clock.
And why not the swift foot of time? Had not that been as proper?
Time travels in diverse places with diverse persons. I'll tell you who time ambles withal, who time trots withal, who time gallops withal, and who time stands still withal.
I prithee, who doth he trot withal?
He trots hard with a young maid between a contract of her marriage and the day it is solemnized.
Who ambles time withal?
With a priest who lacks a Latin and a rich man who hath not the gout. For the one sleeps well because he cannot study, and the other is merry because he feels no pain.
Who doth he gallop withal?
With a thief to the gallows, for there he goes as softly as foot can fall. He thinks himself too soon there.
Who stays it still withal?
With a scholar on a vacation, for there they sleep from term to term and perceive how not time travels.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
Here, with this shepherdess, on the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you native of this place?
As the rabbit you see here dwelled where she is kindled.
Your, accent is something finer than one could purchase in so removed a dwelling.
I've been told so by many. But indeed, a old religious uncle of mine taught me how to speak. And I thank God I am not a woman to be touched with so many giddy offences that he hath taxed their whole sex withal.
Can you remember any of the principal evils that he laid to the charge of women?
None were principal, they are all like halfpence are.
I prithee, recount some of them.
No, I will not waste my physic, but on those that are ill. There is a man who haunts the forest and abuses our young plants by carving Rosalind on their barks. He writes odes upon hawthorn and elegies on brambles, all forsooth deifying the name of Rosalind. I would like to meet this fancy monger, for he seems to have a quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love shakes. I pray you, tell me your remedy.
There's none of my uncle's marks upon you.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A blue eye and sunken, which you have not. an unquestionable spirit, which you have not, a beard untrimmed, which you have not. But I'll forgive you for that. Then your hose should be ungartered, your sleeves unbuttoned, your shoes untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are not that man. You are rather point deriven in your accoutrements, seeming more a lover of yourself than a lover of any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it? You'd better make her that you love believe it. But, in good sooth, are you the one that hangs the verses on the trees that Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to thee, youth, by the hand of Rosalind, I am he. That unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you deserves a dark house and a whipper, as any other madmen do. But the only reason why it's not punished is that the whippers themselves are in love. But I do profess curing it through counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes, one, and in this manner. He was to imagine me his love, his mistress, at which time would I be effeminate, changeable, longing, liking, for every passion something, and for any passion truly anything. Would now like him, now loathe him, that I drove my suitor from his mad humour of love to a living humour of madness, to live in a nook merely monastic, and thus I cured him.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you if you but come every day to my cot and woo me.
By the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me, and you must tell me where you live.
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, call me Rosalind.
Not see him since? Sir, that cannot be. But were I not the better part made mercy, I should not seek an absent argument of my revenge, thou present. But look to it. Find out thy brother wheresoe'er he is. Seek him with candle. Bring him, dead or living, within this 12-month. Or turn thou no more to seek a living in our territory. Thy lands, and all things that thou dost call thine worth seizure, do we seize into our hands, till thou canst quit thee by thy brother's mouth of what we think against thee.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
For villain thou! Well, turn him out of doors, and have my officers of such a nature make an extent upon his house and lands. Do this expediently, and turn him going.
Never talk to me, for I shall weep.
Do, I prithee, yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
Have I not more cause to weep?
As good cause as one would desire, therefore weep.
You heard him swear down yesterday that he would come, but come he does not.
Nay, certainly, there is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
I think he is not a pick-purse, nor a horse-stealer, but for his verity in love, I do think him as concave as a covered goblet or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true in love.
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
But you heard him swear down that he was.
Was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. They are both the confirmer of false reckonings. He attends here in the forest on the Duke, your father.
I met the Duke yesterday. He asked me what parentage I was of. I told him as good as he. He laughed and let me go. But why do we speak on fathers when there is such man as Orlando?
Oh, that's a brave man. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, and swears brave oaths, but breaks them bravely, quite traverse athwart the heart of his lover, as a puny tilter that spurs his horse, but on one side breaks his staff like a noble goose. But all's brave that youth mounts and folly guides. Look, who comes here?
Mistress and master. You have oft inquired after the young shepherd who complained of love that you saw sitting next to me on the turf, praising the proud, disdainful shepherdess that was his mistress.
Well, and what of him?
If you will see a pageant truly played between the pale complexion of true love and the red glow of scorn and proud disdain, stay here a while and you will see it.
Oh, come, let us remove. The sight of lovers feedeth those that are in love. And you will say I'll prove a busy actor in their play.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, fall not the axe upon the humble neck, but first begs pardon. Will you sterner be than he that dies and lives by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tells me there is murder in my eyes. 'Tis pretty, sure, and very probable that eyes that are the softest and frailest of things that shut their coward gates on atomy should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Now, I do frown on thee with all my heart. But if my eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now, counterfeit to swoon. Now, fall down. Or if thou canst not. Oh, for shame, for shame. Lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Show me the wound mine eye has made in thee.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever, as ever may be near, you meet in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then you shall know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time, come now, not near me. And when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Pity me not, for till that time, I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, all over the wretched? What? Do you have no beauty? Therefore you must be proud and pitiless. What means this? Why do you look on me? Hope not after it. I see no more than you than in the ordinary of nature's cell work. Odds my little life, I think she mean to entangle mine eye too. Hope not after it, proud mistress. 'Tis not your inky brow, your black silk hair, nor your buckled eyeballs that can entame my senses to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her like puffy south, blowing with wind and rain? 'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her, and out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments can show her. But mistress, down on your knees. Down on your knees. For let me tell you something friendly in your ear. Sell while you can. You are not for all markets. cry the man mercy. Take his offer. Foul is most foul when foul is to be a scoffer. So take her to thee, shepherd, and fare you well.
Sweet youth, I pray you, chide a year together. I'd rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He falls in love with your foolishness, and you'll fall in love with my anger. If it be so, as quick as you answer him with frowning look, I will sauce you with bitter words. Why do you look on me?
For no ill will I bear you.
I pray you, do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made in wine. Here is a faithful shepherd. Love him, he loves you. Mistress, be not so proud, for there is no other in the world as abused as he. Come now, sister. Shepherd.
Dear shepherd, now I find the saying right. Whoever loved that loved not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe.
What sayest thou, Silvius?
Sweet Phoebe, pity me?
Why, I'm sorry for thee, gentle Silvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow and my grief and love, by giving love, your sorrow and my grief were both extinguished.
Thou hast my love, is not that neighbourly?
I would have you.
Why, that were covetousness. Silvius, the time was I hated thee, and now it is not that I bear thee love, but since thou can talk so well of love, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll give thee employment too. But do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
So holy and so perfect is my love, and I in such poverty of grace, that I shall think it a most plenteous crop to glean the broken ears after the man that the main harvest reap. Loose now and then a scattered smile, and that I'll live upon.
Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft, and he hath bought the cottage and the bounds that the old Carlot was once master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis a peevish boy. Yet he speaks well. What care I for words? Yet words do well than he that speaks them pleases those that hear. 'Tis a pretty youth. Not very pretty. Sure, he's proud. And yet his pride becomes him. He'll make a proper man. The best thing in him is his complexion. And faster than his tongue did make offence, his eye did heal it up. He's not very tall, yet for his years he's tall. His leg is but so, yet 'tis well. There be some women, Silvius, had they marked him in parcels as I did, would have gone near enough to fall in love with him. And yet for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet I have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what did he do to chide at me so? He said, mine eyes were black and my hair black. And now I am remembered scorned at me. I marvel why I answered not again. That's all one. Admittance is no quittance. I shall write to him a very taunting letter, and thou wilt bear it, wilt thou, Silvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
The matter's in my head and in my heart. I will be bitter with him and passing straight. Come with me, Silvius.
I prithee, pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are the extremity of either are abominable fellows and betray themselves to every modern censure worse than drunkards.
Why? 'Tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why, 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the courtier's, which is proud, nor the soldier's, which is ambitious, nor the lawyer's, which is politic, nor the lady's, which is nice, nor the lover's, which is all these. But it is a melancholy of mine own, compounded of many simples, extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundry contemplation of my travels, in which by often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveller, by my faith, you have good reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your lands to see another man's. To have travelled forth so far and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience has made you sad. Why, you need a fool to make you merry.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay then, God be with you, and you, speak in blank verse.
Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You, a lover, play such another trick as this, and never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love. He that would break but a minute into 1,000 parts, and divide but 1,000 parts of a minute in the affairs of love, it can be said that Cupid hath clapped him off the shoulder.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
And you have the nerve to be so tardy. Never come in my sight more. I have more lief to be wooed by a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail. Though he travels slowly, he brings his house on his head. A better jointure, I think, than you make to a woman. Besides, he brings his destiny with him.
What's that?
Why, horns.
Virtue is no horn maker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind. Now, come woo me, for I am more in a holiday humour and like enough to consent. What would you say now if I was your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you'd better speak before you kiss. Good orators, when they're out, will spit, and for lovers lacking, God warns us, the cleanliest matter is to kiss.
How? If the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to entreaty, and there becomes a new matter.
Who could be out, being before his beloved mistress?
Marry, that should you if I were your mistress.
What of my suit?
Not out of your apparel, but out of your suit. Am I not your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because I would be talking of her.
Then, in her person, I say, I will not have you.
Then, in mine own person, I die.
No faith! The poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all that time not one man has died out of the cause of love. Troilus had his brain dashed out with Grecian club, yet he did what he could do to die before, and he is one of the patterns of love. Men have died from time to time, and the worms have eaten them, and not for the cause of love.
I would not have my right Rosalind of this mind, for I protest her frown might kill me.
By this hand, it will not kill a fly. Now I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition, and ask me what you will, I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
I, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
I, and 20 such.
What? Sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Why then, can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall marry us and be our priest. Your hand, Orlando? Marry us?
Pray thee, marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must say, do you, Orlando?
Go to. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye. But when?
Why, now. As fast as she can marry us.
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, as wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, as wife.
I might ask you for your commission, but I do take you, Orlando, as husband. Now tell me, how long would you have her after you have possessed her?
Forever. And the day.
Say the day without the ever, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids. But the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than a Barbary cock pigeon over his hen, more clamorous than a parrot against the wind, more giddy in my desires than a monkey. I will cry for nothing, like Diana in the fountain, and I will do this when thou art inclined to be merry.
But will my Rosalind do so?
She will do as I do.
Ah, but she is wise.
The wiser, the waywarder. Mark the doors upon a woman's wit. Stop that, and I'll out the casement. Shut that, 'twill out the keyhole. Stop that, and I'll go out the chimney with the smoke.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack you these 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
No, go your ways. Go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friend told me as much, and I thought no less. So, come, death. 2 o'clock is your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
If you break but 1 jot of your promise and come but 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, and not worthy of her that you call Rosalind. Beware my censure, and keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou were indeed my Rosalind. So, adieu.
Adieu.
You have simply misused our sex in your love prate. We must have your doublet nose plucked over your head to show the world what the bird hath done to her own nest.
Oh, cuss! Oh, cuss, cuss, cuss! My pretty little cuss! Dost thou knowest how many depths I am in love? It is of unknown bottom, like the Bay of Portugal.
Or rather bottomless, that as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out.
Well, I tell you, Aliena, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I shall go find a shadow to sigh under until he comes.
And I'll sleep.
As I was a-walking one midsummer's morning to hear the birds whistle and the nightingales play. It was there that I met a beautiful maiden, as I was a-walking along the highway. Oh, where are you going, my fair pretty lady? Oh, where are you going so early this morn? She said,
I'm gone down to visit my neighbor. I'm gone down to Warwick, the place I was born.
it's may I come with you, my sweet pretty darling? May I go along in your sweet company?
Then she turned her head and smiling at me said, you may come with me, kind sir, if you please.
We hadn't been walking but a few miles together before this young damsel began to show free.
She sat herself down, said, sit down beside me, and the game we shall play shall be 1, 2, and 3.
I said, my dear lady, you're fond of the gaming. There's one game I know I would like you to learn, and the game it is called the Game of All Fours. So I took out my pack and began the first turn. She cut the cards first, and I fell a-dealing. I dealt her the ace and myself the poor jack. She led off her ace and stole my jack from me.
Jack is the card I like best in your pack.
Since I dealt them last time, it's your turn to shuffle, and my turn to show the best card in the pack. Once again she'd the ace, and the deuce for to beat me. Once again I had lost, and I lay down poor Jack. So I took up my hat, and I bid her good morning. I said, you're the best that I know at this game.
She smiled and said, sir, if you come back tomorrow, we'll play the game over and over again.
What say you now? It's almost 2 o'clock and here, much Orlando.
I warrant you with pure love and troubled brain, he hath ta'en his bow and arrows and is gone forth to sleep. Look, who comes here?
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess by the stern brow and waspish action, what she did use as she was writing of it, it bears an angry tenor. Pardon me, I am but as a guiltless messenger.
Her Patience herself will start at this letter, and swagger. Bear this, bear all. She says I am not fair, and that I have no manners, and that I am too proud, and that she could not love me. Why writes she this to me? Well, shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own hand.
No, I protest, I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Come, come, you fool, and turned into the extremity of love. I say this is written in a man's hand.
Sure, it is hers.
Why, 'tis of boisterous and cruel style, a style for challengers. Will you hear this letter?
So please you, for I have never heard it yet. Yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
She Phoebe's me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
Call you this railing?
Why, thy Godhead laid apart, wast thou with a woman's heart, whiles the eyes of a man did woo me, that could do no vengeance to me, meaning me, a beast. He that brings this love to thee, little knows this love to me, and by him steal up thy mind, whether thy youth and kind with faithful offer take of me that I shall make, or else by him that I love deny, and then I study how to die.
Call you this chiding?
Alas, poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. love such a woman. It's not to be endured. Well, go your way to her, and say this to her. If she loves me, I charge her to love thee. If you be a true lover, hence.
Yet how can I?
Not a word. For here comes more company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know, where in the purlieus of this forest stands a sheepcot, fenced about with olive trees?
West of this place, down in the neighbour bottom.
If that and I may profit by a tongue, then should I know you by description, such garments and such years. The boy is fair, of female favour, and bestows himself like a ripe sister. The woman low and fairer than her brother. Are you not the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both, and to that youth he calls his Rosalind, he sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am he. What should we know of this?
Some of my shame, if you will know of me, what man I am, and how and why and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you, tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again within 2 hours, and pacing through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy, he threw his eye aside, and mark what object did present itself. Under an old oak, whose boughs were mossed with age, and high-top bald with dry antiquity, a wretched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. About his neck, a green and gilded stake had wreathed itself, who, nimble in threats, approached the opening of his mouth. But suddenly, seeing Orlando, it unlinked itself, and with indented glides did slip away into a bush, under which bush's shade a lioness, with udders all drawn dry, lay couching, head on ground, with cat-like watch when that the sleeping man should stir. For 'tis the royal disposition of that beast to prowl nothing that doth seem as dead. This seen, Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of the same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
And well he might so do, for well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando! Did he leave him there?
Twice did he turn his back and purpose so. But kindness, nobler ever the revenge, and nature, stronger than his just occasion, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which hurtling from miserable slumber I awaked.
Are you his brother? Was 'you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. I do not shame to tell you what I was, for my conversion so sweetly tastes, being the thing I am.
But what of the bloody napkin?
By and by, when from the first to last betwixt us two, tears our academents had most kindly bathed, as to how I came into that desert place, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh array and entertainment, committing me unto my brother's love, who led me instantly unto his cave, there stripped himself, and here, upon his arm, the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled, and now he fainted, and cried in fainting upon Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wound, and, after some small space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither to tell this story, so that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin, dyed in his blood, to that shepherd youth that he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
Oh, how now, Ganymede! Ganymede! Sweet Ganymede!
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
There is more in it. Cousin Ganymede! Ganymede!
Look, he recovers.
I wish I were at home.
We'll lead you thither. I pray you, will you go with us?
Be of good cheer, youth. Are you a man? You lack a man's heart.
The body be mocking. Counterfeit, I assure you. Hi-ho.
This was not counterfeit. There is too great a testament in your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
No. Counterfeit.
Well then, have a heart and counterfeit to be a man.
By all rights, I was meant to be a woman.
Come! You look paler and paler. Pray you draw homewards.
You will tell your brother how well I counterfeited.
Good sir, will you go with us?
That will I, for I must bear answer back. How you excuse my brother, Rosalind?
Will you go?
Well met, honest gentleman.
Well met indeed. Come, sit. And a song?
We are for you. Sit in the middle.
Shall we clap into it roundly without hawking or spitting or saying we're a horse, which are the only prologues to a bad voice?
I faith, and both in a tune, like two riders on a horse.
It's of a lover and his lass, with a hey and a ho, and a hey nonny no, that o'er a green cornfield did pass in springtime, the only pretty ring time when birds do sing. Hey ding-a-ding-ding, sweet lovers love the
Spring. Truly, lords, though there was no great matter in the ditty, yet the note was, very untunable.
You are deceived, sir. We kept time. We lost not our time.
Indeed, I counted but time lost to hear such a foolish song. Gentlemen, God buy you and God mend your voices. Come, Jaques.
Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her? That but seeing you should love her? And loving woo, and wooing she should grant? Will you persevere to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question, the poverty of her, the small acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting, but say with me, I love Aliena. Say with her that she loves me. Consent with both that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your good. For my father's house and all the revenue that was old Sir Roland's will I estate upon you, and here live and die a shepherd.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. Thither will I invite the Duke and all his contented followers. Now, go you with Aliena. For look, here comes my Rosalind.
Oh, Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
Were you not wounded by a claws of a lioness?
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye. And greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know where you are. Your brother, my sister. No sooner met did they looked. No sooner looked, but they loved. No sooner loved, but they sighed. No sooner sighed, but they asked one another the reason. No sooner knew the reason, but they sought the remedy. And in these degrees have made a pair of stairs to marriage. They are in the very wrath of love. Clubs could not part them.
They will be married tomorrow. I will bid the Duke to the nuptial. But how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. By so much the more shall I, tomorrow, be at the height of heart heaviness in seeing my brother have what he wishes for.
Why, tomorrow I cannot serve my turn as Rosalind.
I can live no longer by thinking.
Then I shall weary you no longer with idle words. Know this of me. I know you are a gentleman of good conceit. Believe then, if you do love Rosalind, so near to your heart as your gestures cry it out, When your brother marries Aliena, you shall marry her.
Speakest thou soberly?
Tomorrow, get you in your finest array, bring your friends, and you shall be contented. Oh, look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
Youth, you have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I writ to you.
It is in my nature to seem ungentle to you. You are followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him. Love him.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears, and so am I for Phoebe.
An eye for Ganymede.
And I, for Rosalind.
An eye for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service, and so am I for Phoebe.
An eye for Ganymede.
And I, for Rosalind.
An eye for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, and all made of wishes. All adoration, duty, and observance, all humbleness, all patience and impatience, all purity, all trial, all observance, and so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I, for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
Well, if this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Why do you speak so? If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
Enough of this. I'll marry you if I ever marry a woman, and you'll be married tomorrow. I'll satisfy you if ever I satisfy man, and thou shalt be married tomorrow. And I will content you if you ever will be contented, and you shall be married tomorrow. You'll have your commands. Time for me to go.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and turn his merry nose unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither, then shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather. Who doth ambition?
More, I prithee, more.
It will make you melancholy, Monsieur Jacques.
I thank it. More, I prithee, more. I can suck melancholy out of a song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I prithee, more.
My voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, more. Another stanza. Call them stanzas?
What you will, Monsieur Jacques.
Nay, I care not for their names. They owe me nothing. Will you sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
Well, then, if ever I thank any, I'll thank you. But that they call compliment is like the encounter between two dog apes. And when a man thanks me heartily, methinks I have given him a penny, and he renders me the beggarly thanks. Come, sing. And you that will not, hold your tongues. Come, warble, come.
Who doth ambition shun and loves to lie in the sun, seeking the food he eats and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither, then shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather.
We'll play you a verse to this note that we made yesterday.
In spite of her invention.
And we'll sing it.
If it should come to pass that any man turn us,
Leaving his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please.
duck dame, duck dame, duck dame, then shall he see?
Gross fools as we.
And if he will come to me.
What's that? Dame?
Ah, 'tis a Greek invocation for calling fools into a circle. I'll go sleep if I can. If I cannot, we'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe, and sometimes not. Like one that fears they hope, and knows they fear.
Patience once more while our compact is urged. You, Duke, say if I bring Rosalind, you will bestow her to Orlando.
That would I, had I kingdoms to give with her.
And you say you will have her when I bring her.
That would I, were I of all kingdoms king.
You'll say you'll marry me if I be willing.
That will I, should I die the hour after.
But if you refuse me, that you'll give yourself here to the most faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain.
You say you'll have Phoebe if she will be willing.
Though to have her and death were both one thing.
I have promised to make all this matter even. Keep your word, O Duke, to give your daughter. You yours, Orlando, to receive his daughter. Keep your word, Phoebe, to marry me. And if you will not marry me, to marry this shepherd. You, Silvius, that you'll marry her if she refuses me. Now hence I go to make all these promises even.
I do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favour.
My lord, the first time that I ever saw him, methought he was brother to your daughter. But, my good lord, this boy is forest born.
Salutation and greeting to you all.
Good my lord, bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman that I have so often met in the forest. He hath been at court, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. I have trod a measure. I have flattered a lady. I have been politic with my friend, smooth with mine enemy. I have undone 3 tailors. I have had 4 quarrels, and like to have fought one.
And how was that turn up?
Faith, we met, and found the quarrel was upon the 7th cause.
Found the 7th cause? Good my lord, like this fellow.
I like him very well. He is swift and sententious.
But for the 7th cause, how did you find the quarrel upon the 7th cause?
Upon a lie, 7 times removed, as thus, sir. I did dislike the cut of a certain courtier's beard. If I sent him word his beard was not cut well, he was in the mind it was. This is called the retort courteous. If I sent him word again it was not well cut, he would send me word he cut it to please himself. This is called the quip modest. If again it was not well cut, he disabled my judgment. This is called the reply churlish. If again it was not well cut, he would say I spake not true. This is called the reproof valiant. If again it was not well cut, he would say I lie. This is called the countercheck quarrelsome. And so to the lie circumstantial and the lie direct.
And how oft did you say his beard was not well cut?
I durst go no further than the lie circumstantial, nor durst he give me the lie direct, and so we measured swords and parted.
Can you nominate, in order now, the degrees of the lie?
Sir, we quarrel in print by the book, as you have books for good manners. I will name you the degrees. The retort courteous, the quip modest, the reply churlish, the countercheck quarrelsome, the reproof valiant, the lie circumstantial, and the lie direct. All these you may avoid, but the lie direct, and this you may avoid too with an if. Your if is your only peacemaker. Much virtue in if.
Is this not a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good at anything, and yet a fool.
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under presentation of that, shoots his wit.
Then is there mirth in heaven, when earthly things made even atone together. Good Duke, receive thy daughter. The Lord from heaven brought her hither, that thou mightst join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love, adieu.
I'll have no father if you be not he. I'll have no husband if you be not he. And I'll have no woman if you be not she.
Peace, ho! I bar confusion, 'tis I must make conclusion of these most strange events. Here is 6 that must take hands to join in the Luard's bands, if truth holds true contents. You and you are heart in heart. You and you, no cross shall part. You to his love must accord, else have a woman for your lord. Whiles a wedlock hymn we sing, feed yourselves with questioning, that reason wonder may diminish how thus we met, and these things finish.
Oh, my dear niece, welcome art thou to me, even as daughter welcome in no less degree.
I will not eat my word. Now thou art mine, thy faith my fancy to thee doth combine.
Let me have audience for a word or two. I am the second child of old Sir Roland that brings these tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick, hearing how that every day men of great worth resorted to this forest, addressed a mighty power, which were on foot in his own conduct, purposefully to take his brother here and put him to the sword. And to the skirts of this wild wood he came, where, meeting with an old religious man after some question with him, was converted both from his enterprise and from the world, his crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all their lands restored to them again which were with him exiled. This to be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, young lady. Thou offerest fairly to thy brother's wedding. To one, his lands withheld. To the other, a land itself at large, a potent dukedom. But first, in this forest, let us do those ends that here were well begun and well begot. And after, every of this happy number that hath endured shrewd days and nights with us, shall share in our eterned fortune, according to the measure of their state. Meantime, forget this new-fallen dignity, and fall into our rustic revelry. Play music, and you, brides and bridegrooms all, in measures heat with joy, to the measures fall.
Miss, by your patience, if I heard you rightly, the Duke hath put on a religious life and thrown into neglect the pompous court.
He hath.
To him will I. Out of these convertites there is much matter to be heard and learned. You, to your former honour I bequeath. Your patience and your virtue well deserves it. You, to your land and love and great allies. you to a love that your true faith doth merit. You to a long and well-deserved bed. So to your pleasures. I am for other than for dancing measures.
Stay, Jaques. Stay!
To see no pastime I. What you would have, I'll stay to know at the abandoned cave.
Proceed, proceed. And we'll begin those rites, as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me, and turn his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather. Who doth ambition shun, and loves to lie in the sun, seeking the food he eats, and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather.
If it should come to pass that any man turn us,
Seeking his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please.
duck dame, duck dame, duck dame, then shall he see